There it is. Welcome to the show, folks. If you don't know me, my name is Mike Asherbrenner, professionally known as the Redneck Connector and proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community. And you are tuning in to Mike King Biz Radio on ESPN RVA 106.1 FM. Wow, folks, we have a special treat for you today. We all know this. Running a business shouldn't feel like running yourself into the ground. Pointing at this guy right here in the camo hat. And yet, for many folks like me, especially midlife, right, it's the back office, not the front-facing work, that really drains the joy out of our success in business. So that's where our guest today, Colleen Stubs, founder of Simplified CEO Systems, comes in. This lady has 35 years of real entrepreneur experience in 8 businesses built and sold. All right, she knows firsthand the chaos of juggling clients, tech tools, endless follow-ups, all the stuff we got to do. Her solution: automate with heart. Yeah, that's why she's here. With heart. Big component to that. So we're going to talk about how to simplify your life, nurture client relationships, and give you that freedom that you started this daggone business to begin with for. So before we run the intro, we'll bring Colleen right up, and thank you all for tuning in. And Beverly, you are first in line, my friend. Beverly with Healing for Wounds. Can't wait to see you today. Let's get this party started. Excited to have you.
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope. We turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations, well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success, it's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness, just like crawfish and singing on a Friday night.
All right, folks, let me tell you something. Colleen Stubs, she definitely knows about crawfish and singing on a Friday night. Let's bring her up, y'all. No soundboard needed. Colleen, welcome. How are you, my friend?
Hello. Thank you. I am well. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Okay, well, don't you start behaving now. I want that. I want how you act all the time. All right, that backstage, that flavor. All right, and just a minute, folks. I met Colleen Stubs from Nicole Borgie when she did one of her fantastic summits, and that created a snowball effect. See, every folks, all the folks like Colleen, right? If I had DM'd them with nonsense on a social media platform or emailed, I would have got pepper sprayed over Zoom, more than likely. All right, so I just want y'all to understand, push up other people, provide value, and then let people decide to come to you. So thank you for doing that, Colleen. And, you're doing that now. You run with some amazing heart-centered professionals, and I love the cross-pollination. So had to give that shout out.
Thank you. I love that too.
Yes, ma'am. So let's get right to it. As I said earlier, you built and sold 8 businesses, correct me if I'm wrong, over 35 years of brick and mortar, and now, right, online virtual entrepreneur experience. What first pulled you to, creating simplified CEO systems? Why this? Why now? Give us a little background.
Yeah, sure. I think you just nailed it right on the head there when you said that, Mike, because the truth of the matter is the first 6 businesses I built from concept to profit, I built like everybody does, like I jumped in gung-ho, did everything I could, just, the whole 80 to 90 hours a week, build this up, make it successful, make it profitable. And then once it got on that roll of being profitable, and I was still doing the 60 hours a week, I was realizing that it just wasn't sustainable. And I would literally just get burned out, realizing that my daughter's sleeping under the counter, right? Or I'm cutting away from Sunday dinner to go get something ready at the shop. It's not sustainable. And so I would turn around and sell them for a profit, take a break. maybe for a couple months, maybe for a couple of years, until I had another idea. My husband would say, another great idea. And off I'd go and build something again. And every time, I'm fortunate that it was really something I was passionate about. I was driven by my passion each time a situation arose, and I created a solution for that situation in the community that I was in, or nationwide, however that worked. But then after I did it for a while, same thing. Daggum, if I didn't do it again, and I'm all burned out again. And so I kept selling them. And the last two that I built, I really loved. And I was doing, I was going to do them a little bit different. I had set some boundaries and decided that there were some things I was going to do and some I wasn't going to do. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But those last two businesses, I'll just tell you a little about. One was an upscale boutique in downtown. Sold everything from every kind of gift you can imagine that's wholesome, to clothing and home decor. And then I also had 4 boutique Airbnbs. And I loved those. I loved both of those businesses a lot. My family life had mellowed out a little. My kids were growing, but I had to sell them to take care of my mom. And I committed to take care of her for 10 to 15 years. She was homebound with a medical diagnosis. And so I sold those to take care of her. And unfortunately, she passed away 5 months later. That put me in a really unique situation where I could choose what I wanted to do going forward, right? Like, did I really want to do another brick and mortar business?
Right.
Or was there something bigger, a bigger purpose? And what I really wanted to do more than anything was to be able to allow other midlife entrepreneurs the freedom of living midlife the way that they wanted to. And I don't care if that meant you were taking college courses or you're skydiving in the Bahamas, whatever that looked like for you. If it means just staying home on the farm with your grandkids, which is what it meant for me. Right. But to be able to have a business online that supports that lifestyle that you've worked hard for. And so to be able to do that, I knew that I had to take the things I learned in my last 2 businesses. I'd learned in my last 8 businesses, but really implemented in the last 2. And I had to be able to teach midlife entrepreneurs how to do those things, how to put those into practice so that they weren't doing the 60, 80, even 40 hours a week. We don't even want to do that. We don't, you know, we want to do the 30-hour week, if that.
Well, and thank you for elaborating, because that's the with heart part. So first of all, you're the overnight success that took 35 plus years, right? So right. People go, oh my gosh, I'd never be able to do what she did. So let me ask you this. Let's backtrack just a tiny bit for a second. Was it easy? Were you just magical and everything was perfect, and every endeavor, every business challenge, you aced it, right? You just had no challenges and everything. That's how it worked, right?
Yeah. Somewhere, not in my life, but maybe somewhere.
Somewhere, somebody. But it was it a constant struggle? But let me ask, because people out there they struggle with this, and we think we're weird for talking about it. Some people haven't realized that other people are just better at hiding this self-doubt and this kind of challenge, right? So right. I want to make sure that if it comes from you, undeniable success story, you overcome the challenges because the promise of freedom, right? Freedom of time, freedom of money, be able to take care of your mom, do whatever you want. Those things drove you through horrible challenges, right? It wasn't easy for you, was it?
No, but you left out the biggest one, and that's the freedom to be yourself.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at who you're talking to, right?
Yeah, see that?
Yeah. And you don't need a camo hat to do that. That's why you're so relatable, because you're just you. You're you, like me, at the grocery store, at wherever. You're always you. And you're always seeking to help people and provide value. Never try to sell, vegan steak dinners or anything. You're going out there with the message that people need. So real quick though, so we know that people are drowning in tech tools and busy work, and things are moving so fast. Even the sharpest, youngest tool in the shed has trouble keeping up, right? So what's the biggest struggles you see with folks, especially midlife folks, folks 40s and up, trying to build or grow or expand their business, right? What are their struggles, and why do they come to you?
The thing is, Mike, is you're the same generation, right? We've already drank out of the garden hose. We did it for years. We know we're not catching cooties from that. So it's not that we're scared to take chances, right? It's that we don't want to learn new things. We don't want to start over. We have a passion on our heart. We have something that we've done or we've created, we've experienced, or we've built in the first 40 or more years of our life that we're very passionate about. And to spend time focusing on anything other than the passionate thing feels like our goals and our dreams are being sidelined. And we don't want that. And so these entrepreneurs are coming online and they are full of fire and they believe in themselves and they believe in their mission and what they want to share. And then they realize that they're spending 60, 70, 80% of their time working out the tech. And the dream drops because that's not what they want to do. And it's not that they can't, they don't want to.
You hit the nail on the head. Let's hone in on that real quick, if you don't mind. So that you talk about automation with heart, right? Very similar to what I talk about in practice. So let's dive into that. What does that mean? So how is that different from the cold cookie cutter automation that people usually think of?
Right. So it's like, it's when you actually craft through intimately knowing your audience, right? And so as intimately as we can via Zoom or whatever the mode is, right? But you craft everything that you do to be an intimate experience for them, to really reach out, communicate, understand, validate, make them feel seen, heard, understood, and have that solution that is personalized to them, right? So whatever business you're in, it's back to intimacy and making sure that you really know your audience, right? And you can do that through your visuals, through your language, through the solutions you provide. It's a matter of deep diving in and really seeing like, what do they need? Why do they need that? And how can I bring it to them? And doing it on their level. And so it's not grabbing a generic template and throwing it out there. That's not going to do it. We can't do that. Not in build relationships that last. And I'm here to build something that lasts, because like most other Gen X entrepreneurs, we don't want to start over. Oh no, just send me to the funny farm. I'm not starting over.
No, and you don't have to start over. And I love that, because you don't walk into a suit place and they have one size, one color, and everybody buys the same suit. Not in this country. So yeah, and that's what I love about it. You sit down, you take the time to get to know the person, not even the tech issues first. Like what keeps them up at night? What's their passion, goals, dreams, the impact, legacy? It's not corny talk. That's long-term vision talk, right? Yeah. So before we go diving into this, because we are, man, this time flies and you're having fun. Want to give a much deserved and appreciated shout out to Mike King Biz Radio. Colleen, this guy is so awesome. When he goes to the ball games, they put him on the Jumbotron. They love Mike King, and now they love him national and internationally. So thank you for our partnership. We love pushing up people and businesses and causes and everything out there that really can and should impact the world in a better way. So thank you, Mike King. Folks on the radio, and if you want to tune in live, you can find us at Hounds of Business on YouTube. You can find me, Mike Asherbranner, ASH, or Redneck One on LinkedIn. Or you can shoot me an old school carrier pigeon. I still get those, weather pending. So now we are back with Colleen, and let's go a little bit deeper. Walk us through what a simplified, customized CRM can actually do, especially for midlife entrepreneur, right? Paint the before and after picture.
Sure. So let me just give you an example of one of my clients. She had purchased her CRM system through me. We had everything set up, and she's just dragging her heels. And I kept reaching out and saying, get on here and do your thing, And so she set an appointment. We got on. She's like, okay, I have a list of all these things we need to do. I'm like, okay, I think we've got them done, but go ahead. Give me your list. She's like, no, we can't have them done. This is what we need to do. And I said, okay, well, I've already done that, but let's go look at it and just make sure it's exactly what you want. She's like, oh, you did do it. And I'm like, yeah, it's done. It's ready. You can go. And she's like, okay, but let's go look at the calendars. And I'm like, okay, those are also done. She goes, no, you don't understand. I have 5 different calendars. I said, I do understand, because I put them in there and created them for you. So I do understand they're done. And she's like, they're done. Within 20 minutes, we've gone through everything. And she's like, oh my gosh, I can just shine. And that's the thing. That's the intention behind my business, is to make everything so that it flows smoothly. And what that does, everything from creating landing pages and websites into email sequences, nurture sequences, workflows that nurture, connecting the social medias, connecting the calendars, everything's connected so that my clients can go in and check and see if people have reached out to them outside of the workflow. They can go in and they can upload new contacts, and they can tag them as to which workflow to go in. And it just runs. What are they doing now in their extra time? Instead of spending 60, 70% of their time on the tech. They're spending maybe 10, 15% of the time in there. And the rest of the time, they have the freedom to actually be authentically themselves. They can smile when they're with their clients and when they're presenting themselves and networking and meeting people. And they can really just feel and share the joy that they feel over the message that they're sharing and not be worried about dropping connections, about things not being connected in the back end, about people not being able to reach out. And that's huge. Just simplify it for them so they can just show up and shine.
Yeah, you're speaking to me, and this ain't some goofy thing I say to prop you up. This is God's honest truth. So bleeding time. So you spend all this time, right? You're the CEO, you're serving your clients, and then you answer the phones, take the garbage out, mess with CRMs or lack thereof. And not only in my life, I bled so much time, but I was still bleeding sales. I was still bleeding opportunity and missed opportunities. And because here's the list I got. Folks in the comments, if you want to chime in, I've ranked CRM and automation right up there with tax prep and proctology visits. Nobody is looking forward to it. Nobody wants to even talk about it. Oh gosh, what do I have to have? What if I'm a disaster? This lady will laugh at me. And you dispel that because you've been there and you customize the place. So you just show up. Like, what do I need to do? Just show up and have an honest conversation with Colleen. And then she will guide you. It's like the Appalachian Trail, right? You don't want to do that by yourself first time, no prep. Go to a guide, go to an expert, go to someone who understands it. And that's why you're my pick. You're not the only pick, but that's why you're ours, because you really do take the extra time and you really want to make it well. And
here's the thing, Mike, if you're fat, and I'm not picking on fat people, I may be one of them, but if you're fat and you want to lose weight, are you going to the fat doctor to learn how to lose weight? Hell no, we're not. Nope. You're going to go to the person that's already lost the weight, right? And so when you come to me, it's not that I've never done this. It's that this is what I want my business to be. And so I have made sure to do all of those things myself so that I have the same freedoms that I'm selling to other people, right? I experience those and I live life on my terms. And every once in a while I have people say, what do you mean you don't work Thursday? And I'm like, that's what I mean. I don't work Thursday. I have my grandkids and it's my business and I can build it that way because I've automated, delegated, and educated myself on how to do that. And so that's the same thing I want for my clients. I want them to say, this is my dream. I don't want to work Wednesday afternoons, or I want to do this, and have the freedom to do that because we've already gone in and automated and delegated.
Well, and don't, my encouragement to folks, I don't tell people what to do. I just say I drove off this cliff 15 times. You might not want to, but don't fall in the I'll do it myself trap. The last thing I should have done was spend hours trying to be you when I should be hiring you to go out so I can go do me, right? Why would I do a couple, a $50, $200 an hour job, whatever, when we're capable as business owners of making thousands? It's the trade-off concept. So let me ask you this, because this is where the automation and the heart comes into play. Many business owners, including myself, and you know how big I am on this, they think, well, I'm going to lose the personal touch, right? If I automate everything will be kind of cold and, people will see through it and blah, blah, blah. Right. So how do you balance automation with real relationship building, which is what you're all about?
Sure. And so I follow the rule of ones, and this is my own rule. I've never heard it anywhere else, but the rule of ones goes like this. You create one thing for one person, you create it one time, and then you automate it. And so what I say, don't sit at your computer and create things. I want you to go sit in your happy place and create that email to that one person. Create it on that intimate of a level and create it that well. You've created it once, you automate it once, it goes out repeatedly because your ICA, your ideal client audience, is going to be the same person over and over. And so it's going to go out in a more intimate way. It's going to resonate that way too. And so you have to first get clear on exactly what you're doing. Do one thing, get really clear on it. Then go maybe use some AI or talk to people and get a little bit more inspiration, a little more insight that you can streamline in there. And then create the thing and deliver it over and over and over again. But put your time and energy into the intimacy of creating it the first time, where you're really truly connecting.
Yeah, it's no substitute for the hard work, right? The clarity and the right. But don't. It's like putting a Pinto steering column in a Ferrari. right? It really is. It's like you got all this value, you relate to people, and then you're just a disaster because you're scared of it probably, or you don't understand it, or you think it's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and there you go. You said happy place. So I'm a professional Tyler, Happy Gilmore style, y'all.
There we go.
So,
Yeah.
so real quick before we transition a little bit, because man, we're got about 10 minutes. You also run a Monday networking group, which is phenomenal. Shameless plug. I brought hounds, I tested it out, and I couldn't walk out of there with at least 3 people wanting to engage. It's amazing. So first of all, why is that group important to you? And how does it, how does community tie into scaling a business with ease?
And you know what, Mike, this is exactly what you talked about earlier when you touched on and said you wanted to do it all. All entrepreneurs want to do it all. well, I came online and wanted to, my goal last year was to go live once a week, but I didn't want to be responsible for all of that. And so what I did was I opened my floor, I opened my platform to other entrepreneurs, and I allowed them to come on and share their business. Take that time with my audience and shine, share your business. Tell my audience how you can help them improve their business. And that gives them the room to shine, the practice time in front of people. It's in, I like to think, a warm, fuzzy environment. We don't make anybody uncomfortable there.
No.
And so it's easy. I've got that feedback a lot, that it's really easy to present and teach in there because we have an active audience that's actively engaged and listening. They're eager to participate, and it's your time. You just can't do it wrong. And so sharing that opportunity for people to share their business is a huge part of the networking group. But also I post in there where I network. And so every Monday I put up a post that says where I'm going to be, the days, times, how to register, connect, or pay to be a part of that, so that you can go network where I do. If you like the growth you see in me and you want the same thing, then I want to share that with you. We are never in competition. I don't care how close somebody is to what I do. We're not in competition. We're different people. And so I want everybody else to shine. And part of being successful, the biggest challenge, I think, is not micromanaging yourself or anybody else.
Amen.
Find your area you shine in and shine, shine, shine. And guess what? If you get someone really good that you're teaming up with in that community and they shine, boy, do you look good.
Yeah.
Boy, do you look good.
Yeah. Oh, you look great, because everybody's all Colleen. You know why? Because you're giving them what they want, what can help them advance. You're not concerned about you until you are the solution. Imagine, and that's why you're a power partner of the HOB now, right? Because we're not just trying to grow our community. We're finding other networking and groups and masterminds and just good people to offer that. So if somebody comes to me and I can say, well, you need to go Colleen, right? Go to Colleen first.
Yeah.
And that's why it's amazing. So, and folks on the air, simplifying your life and business starts here. Go to simplifiedceosystems.com. Simplifiedceosystems.com. You've got educational things. You got all kind of free stuff to help people get, ready, get acclimated, and then have that conversation. You can also book a call there. So I told you time flies. We only got about 5 minutes. So I want to dive a little bit into your personal story, because this is what a lot of us face. We think we're alone and we don't talk about it. And we're here to dispel that myth. All right. So you've talked about it. You've lived through startup chaos, burnout, right? Reinvention, raising a family, all while running businesses, sometimes multiples. What lesson from those, those lessons from all that, those seasons of ups and downs, and how do they guide the way you treat clients today, how you coach others and guide other clients? When
I built my boutique, created my boutique, when we built a building and then renovated it and then put a boutique in it. And as we were making our business plan, I got to that part where I went down to City Hall and got my business license. And I'd already got my EIN number. And I said, I'm going to need payroll. And I said, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm just not. I set a boundary. I'm like, I'm not doing it because I struggle with it. I can do it. I've done it for years, but I struggle with it. It gives me anxiety. And so guess what I did? I walked next door to the CPA and I said, hey, here you go, girl. And guess what? Here's my store manager. Get her signature so she can sign all the checks, because I'm out. Y'all have a good time. And that's the secret to success, is giving others the room to shine. And guess what? I didn't worry about it again. I showed up, I met customers, I built relationships with customers and with other business owners in the community. And I was able to put my business first that way, because I had somebody else that was making t-shirts for me. I had somebody else that was doing all of the shipping. I had somebody else that was taking care of the social media part. I didn't have to do any of those things. I went where I love to be, and that's where each one of us should be in our business. Find the part you love and go shine right there. And then the rest we need to automate or delegate.
I'm not even gonna mess that up with any Mike-isms. How about that? That was spot on, folks. And look, people in the comments, thank you so much. Usman, Nathan, Beverly. I'm probably missing some folks. Techlich, Michael Jolston. Yeah, absolutely. Because we've all been there. And here's how I like to put it. We run in circles, and I've seen them. I see X-ray vision. These folks still shop at Walmart, even though they could buy one. That's how I phrase it, right? Like, they're so down to earth, and I knew it. I walked in, I said, oh my goodness, watch this. And I just started spreading value and love, and guess what? Hey, Mike, how are you? So it doesn't have to be a chore. None of this. So go to simplifiedceosystems.com, and let's close out with this one. Folks, that's how you find Colleen. You can go find Colleen on LinkedIn, right? Colleen, Coleen, Stubs, Stubbs, on LinkedIn. And go plug into her networking group. Go meet the folks, get to know her, and you won't be sorry. So wrap up question. For someone listening that's overwhelmed by their back end, but they're afraid of tech and all of the other stuff that keeps us from doing it, what's the first simple step you'd like them to take away or to take?
Very first thing I want them to do is find somebody that they trust. I don't care if you have to sit down with 10 different people to find the person that you trust. Find that person you trust and delegate what overwhelms you.
There you go. Short and sweet. And before we go, you have an online summit coming up October 7th through the 9th. We are, hey, folks on the air, folks listening live, we are going to be showcasing this. You're going to see a power-packed panel of folks giving out glasses of milk, as Tanya would say, right? Before you get the whole cow at the summit. So these are not infomercials, no bait and switch nonsense. This is a discussion from super pros, folks. I am honored to have them. So tell us a little bit about this, how people can plug in and what to expect.
Let me just tell you, I'm so excited about this because everything we just talked about is exactly what I've built here. What I've done is I've created a community membership inside my CRM, and I have taken the 12 strongest power partners I have. These are people that I have worked with. I've used their services for the last couple of years. I know, love, and absolutely trust them. I would have them to dinner at my dining room table. Yep. These are people that each represent a different area of building your business. You're no longer doing it alone. You may be a solopreneur, but there's no reason to walk that alone. Come inside my membership. All 12 of these people are there. They have free items for you. And you have somebody that you now can know, like, and trust to help build your business. And it's every aspect, everything from mindset to writing books to CRM, ads, Google business profiles, everything you can imagine. All these people I've surrounded myself with, and they all do really good at what they do, and they've done it for my business.
Yeah, it's like I always say, prove us right, prove us wrong. It's like, think about this. This is what I love about your approach, the summit and groups, very similar to ours. The little old lady gives you the sample of sausage at Costco. I didn't plan on buying 5 logs of that stuff, right? Why did I do it? Because a woman said, oh, you want to try this? It's free. I did. I liked it. I tried 2 more, and then I felt weird for trying so much, and then I bought it. Right? That's how we roll here. You may not need it. But here's what we're doing. And this is what I love about you, Colleen, before we wrap up. You're helping people understand things because they don't need to be sold. They don't, or persuaded in the traditional sense. All they need is somebody who says, hey, here's this thing. Here's how it works. Here's how it can help you. And we're here if you want to. Right? And then you're getting value and connections and all the other things. So folks, go. There's no pushy, none of that stuff.
No, all my power partners are going to be there sharing with you what they do and how they shine.
Folks, go to find Colleen, go to simplifiedceosystems.com, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for being our guest, Colleen. You are fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you for everybody. Tune in next week. We will see you again. And hey, no strays out there. If you're trying to build a business, don't do it alone. You get the people, resource, support. Hounds of Business on YouTube, everybody. See you soon. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.